Hey, what is up, citizens? This is President Vochelli with an ORAS Wi-Fi battle for y'all today. A post-commentary one, that is. So, I'm having an OU match against my Twitter follower, Jack Robinson, and he is bringing the Latias, Entei, Gliscor, Ferrothorn, Rotom Wash, and Mega Pidgeot, while I am bringing the Mew, a Choice Scarf variety with tons of coverage moves, special defensive Heatran, I was about to say Hephaestus, its nickname, Conkeldurr, Toxicroak, which would absolutely wall a Azumarill if I had to fight that thing, Gliscor, and Mega Blastoise. So if you want to see a team building video for my team, you'll see a card or annotation to it about right now. So without further ado, let us start this battle. So I thought I would send out my Mew first. Its Choice Scarf, it would outspeed anything, and if I don't get a good matchup, I would just Volt Switch out. Which, yes, it does rock the Volt Switch. Now, my opponent sends out Mega Pidgeot. Got a Mega Evolve there. And, yeah, I just thought, he's not going to be able to predict I have Volt Switch, so I'm just going to go for that without consequence. And do over 50% damage, and that will come in so clutch later. Yeah, perfect opening for me, kind of. Because I was a big dummy. I sent out Heatran, expecting Mega Pidgeot to actually try to attack me. No, it's just going to U-turn out and go out into something that will completely wall me. However, I do know the Gliscor is not going to go for an Earthquake. The switch out is too obvious, so it's just going to go for a knockoff. Predicting a switch in. So I thought Mega Blastoise, not going to be affected by knockoff. Earthquake, I don't care. Mega Blastoise is bulky. So I go ahead, and switch out. That knockoff does barely anything. I get a chance to Mega Evolve, and I believe I go for the Dark Pulse, expecting, well, just anything that'll resist a Water-type move to come in. So I thought, you know what, I'll just at least get neutral damage off on something. A nice Mega Launcher boosted Dark Pulse, which does a very decent bit to Ferrothorn because of a crit. So of course I switch out into Hephaestus, try to wall this thing. Well, not just wall it, because Ferrothorn's going to switch out, that's obvious. And it's also going to Leech Seed, predicting the Heatran to come in. But I want to use this opportunity to set up my rocks, so that I can punish the Mega Pidgeot if that thing decides to switch in again. So instead, my opponent goes out into Maytag. A very good switch in, because Hydro Pump will hurt Heatran quite a bit. And, you know, if I switch out, which of course I'm going to switch out, then, you know, then, of course, the Rotom can just Will-O-Wisp whatever comes in, or Volt Switch and switch out into something even better. So I definitely want Heatran to stay in for the long run. So instead, I go out into Tex Avery, predicting a, special type move, which I just eat it up with my Assault Vest. You know, my Assault Vest bib. Just eat it up. I don't have to worry about any of it getting on my beautiful clothing. So I go for the Drain Punch, because that does pretty dang well against Rotom Wash. I'll be able to recover my HP back. And, you know, since the Ferrothorn came in, I mean, I'm going to take Iron Barb's damage and Rocky Helmet, as it turns out. But, hey, I get right back up to full HP. So I can't even complain. Now here's the clutch moment. Now, yeah, Mega Pidgeot's now at 25%, so I thought a Mach Punch should take it out. It's neutral, and it does! Take out a freaking Mega Pidgeot with a fighting type. Just beautiful, beautiful day. Oh my goodness. Now, my opponent's testing me here, because I could very well be packing that Ice Punch. Unfortunately, I'm not. So instead, I go out into SWAT. I know. You know, it might be expected, but luckily I think my opponent was thinking I would overpredict, go out into something else, so just a knockoff. I'm good. I'm good. I eat that up like a champ and get off a nice neutral Dark Pulse because... Well, because I thought something else was going to switch in, because I am indeed rocking the Ice Beam. And there's the Protect, just my opponent pro-playing me, making those predictions. So now it's going to switch out. And I'm just going to keep racking up that toxic damage, unfortunately. Let's see, I'm pretty sure I go for a Dark Pulse here. Because I'm pretty sure my opponent was going to switch out. Yes, just go for a Dark Pulse, which unfortunately will not do a whole lot. No, that does a very good bit because it is a crit. I forgot about that. Alright, but unfortunately, as I leave Mega Blastoise in here, I keep... my health keeps getting whittled down, so I want to save that thing for later. Not exactly sure why, thinking back to it. So anyways, yeah, I predict the Volt Switch. From that Rotom... Oh, yeah, that's right. Rotom would outspeed and then KO me. That's why I switched out. So anyways, yeah, I switched in Mew, predicting that Volt Switch, so something else would come in and I'd be able to deal with it appropriately using Mew's beautiful coverage moves. Anyways, I was predicting like a Draco Meteor or just some other powerful special type move to come in, so I just Volt Switched, just doing a little bit of chip damage to that Latias. I switch back into SWAT, just kind of sacking it off. But it does have the Shadow Ball, so it's very good. I switched Mew out. It's a crit, so unfortunately I will be going down to toxic damage this turn. Not that it would matter, because Latias naturally outspeeds Mega Blastoise. Excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, I then go into Festus to... Well, just pretty much body any move this thing wants to do to me. And I was thinking Latias would not really be able to do anything to Heatran, and my opponent would switch out. But that was not the case. It just goes for Shadow Ball. I go for a pitiful Lava Plume. But, you know, I might get a burn at some point in time if I just keep doing this. Of course, my opponent knows that he would eventually win this stall war. Though I roar. I roared to bring something else out, something a bit more favorable to me. That was not the case, though, because I got a freaking Gliscor. That was really unfortunate. Yeah, all just healing up, having a healing party. Having a cleric party, the annual convention for clerics. Well, cleric would indicate that you... that you're healing other people. Anyways, I'm just going to abort that joke and describe that crazy move I just did. I knew Gliscor would not go for an Earthquake, so I just went for a Lava Plume, tried to do as much damage as possible. And when my opponent switches out into Rotom Wash, and that Lava Plume does not do enough, but it does snag the burn, which, not after leftovers, it's not going to KO it, so I was getting all excited over nothing. Just 1 HP, just 1 HP. Anyways, I believe I go out into Toxicroak here, predicting the Hydro Pump. You know, I'm just expecting Rotom to have one last huzzah here, but no, it goes for the Pain Split. You know, I just switch in a full HP Pokemon on this thing. Oh my goodness. That was terrible. But I just go for the Drain Punch, try to gain my HP back, and Toxicroak is a beautiful mon. That is some huge damage. I flip that Rotom on its back and strike its weak point for massive damage. I apologize for that. E3 did just recently happen, so yeah, if I just bring up a few E3 memes. Anyways, my opponent goes out into the Entei here. I don't want none of that extreme speed. No, I just like to take things, you know, nice and calm and slow. So I just switch out in the Gliscor to tank that extreme speed. Still does a lot of damage. I think I never figured out if this thing was choice banded or not. That makes sense. But anyways, now we're gonna have a Gliscor war. Luckily, I have my rocks up, so Gliscor does take that damage. Knockoff, I thought that would do something. Foolishly thought that would actually do something. You know, but now my opponent just tanked the knockoff. Knockoff's not going to do as much anymore, and just protect stall to get that poison heal damage. Get that poison heal recovery, not damage. This thing eats up the poison, drinks it like a pina colada. To refresh, to rejuvenate. Anyways, I go ahead and U-turn here, because I know this one wasn't going to protect. And I go out into something that can handle it. So, the game kinda... the game has me just keep switching out to deal with this Gliscor. Now, I do go for the Ice Beam. Even though, yes, the Gliscor would just protect. Then the Gliscor switches out. Go out into Entei. I believe I just go for the Ice Beam in order to get more damage on this thing. Because it's going to take Stealth Rock damage, and I just need this Entei out of the way. In fact, I need several Pokemon out of the way. So, you know, me and my opponent are just going to have this little dance here. It's going to be slow, but as long as I preserve the Mew for the Gliscor, because I believe Mew was my last remaining special attacker. And I needed that to actually deal with Gliscor. So, anyways, of course I switch out into my own Gliscor here. Eat up the Sacred Fire pretty badly. Gives me a little bit of indigestion. But, you know what? It can't burn me. I'm already poisoned. And I'll just get my poison heal damage off. Anyways, I knock off, just in case the Latias decides to come in. And now we're just back to this. The poison heal stalling. Anyways, my opponent gets the knockoff off. I go ahead and U-turn. And I go out into Aloe. That's right, I foolishly switched out into Toxicroak here for no good reason. I don't have any explanation for why I did this. None. And Toxicroak goes down. For some reason, I got the idea in my head that, oh, hey, a Drain Punch will take it out. No, it won't. No, it won't. Anyways, my opponent overpredicts here, stays in with the Gliscor, trying to get a knockoff off, I believe, and I just Ice Beam. No, because either way, if the Entei switches in, takes Stealth Rock damage, gets a little bit more from Ice Beam, I just switch out into something else. If the Latias comes in, hey, I get a super effective Ice Beam off. No, it just makes sense for me to Ice Beam. And now that the Gliscor is down, it's pretty much game over. Anyways, I survive the Shadow Ball. I can get another Ice Beam off, take out this Latias. Now, I do believe my opponent still has the Entei left. Now, do I, try to preserve my differential here? Because usually I don't do that. You know, this is not the GBA. I don't need to preserve a differential. But I do, I'm just kind of having this attachment to Nyan here. I'm like, you did such good work. I'm not going to sack you off. I'm just going to switch out into Hephaestus here, take the extreme speed, eat up the Sacred Fire, you know, and then just KO this thing with a Lava Plume, which, if this was a hidden ability Entei, that would have been a problem. But it couldn't have been, since it knows extreme speed, which is event only. But anyways, yes, the Entei goes down, and that secures me the game. Yeah, a great battle with my opponent. I just knew I had to preserve that Mew. I absolutely had to preserve it. I just keep switching out at the end there. And as soon as I take down the Gliscor, the game was mine. So, hey, thanks to my opponent for playing against me. Make sure to check him out on Twitter in the description below. And thank you, citizens, for watching. Yeah, like, subscribe, etc., etc. Thanks again for watching. I really need to come up with a new outro now that I'm not giving the whole spiel. I really do. But, hey, I'll think about that another time. So again, thank you for watching for the third time, and this has been President Vochelli, signing off.